And I believe we are live. Sorry if there's anyone there. I can't see anyone at the moment, so my phone says 10 watching, computer says none. Oh, here we go. Hang on. Hi, True Helper. Oh, no worries. Don't worry about that. Yeah, it's nothing important, but if you could just drop us a mail. Yeah, just want to speak to you about something, that's all. It's nothing urgent, nothing serious or anything like that. Hi, Sully. That's really weird how my phone says X amount of people. My PC says a lot less. Hi, Kimberly. Kimberly's off out for dinner tonight, so I hope you enjoy that. Hope I got that right. Yeah, it's Kimberly's mum's birthday. She's meeting her family later for dinner, so I hope she enjoys that. Hi, hippie love. I haven't seen you for a while. It's nice to see you. To see you, nice. So you've got Kimberly and True Help looking after you in the chat. Firefly might be around later, but I know she's busy at work. So, hi Diane. Hi Louise. Hi Captain. Lots of familiar faces. That's good. How is everyone? Hope you're all having a good day. It's been absolutely miserable as sin here in the UK. Pour rain all day. It's all I feel like I ever seem to say when I talk about the weather. Yeah, just a monsoon at the moment. So, how's everyone doing? Keeping out of trouble, I hope. Yeah, hit that like button, guys. Appreciate that. If you could whack that button on your way out or whatever. I'm just going to mumble on for a few more minutes just to see if anyone will come in, just so I don't have to go back on anything. You wished it rained there. Of course, I thought to go out to Australia. I know I've had a little bit of rain, but they could probably do with a lot more. Terrible fires out there at the moment. Just seem to be getting worse and worse, don't they? So it's up to you guys tonight. We can either now the reason I'm just showing this Watts classification report is I know there's a lot of people that want to see it and they feel that they have been stuck behind a paywall and are missing out. So nothing really costs anything here. So I thought I would go through it for people that want to see it and don't want to have to pay for it. No, Team Phoenix. We're not James Bogart. No. No. Nothing to do with James Bogart. Yeah, so and the way that I've seen this information hyped up, I thought was quite ridiculous, to be perfectly honest. Hi, Mary. So, yeah, I have heard this information about Chris Watts. I have heard from a certain creator. You don't need me to name him because you all know who I'm talking about. This is a world exclusive that no one has ever seen. This has been locked away in Dodge Correctional. That no one's ever seen. And it completely changes the case. Completely and utterly changes the whole case. From what you thought of the case, from that you've now got to think differently from now on. Even though this was from January 2019, this changes the case. And People magazine would pay millions of pounds to see this information. This is how important it is. It's a public document that's been fought for. It's been fought for the people to hear. Now, props do go out to True Psych Ward who got this document. But, yeah, edge of your seat, I know. You just hang on there. You could class this as the fourth confession. This is the fourth confession. This is the official Dodge evaluation of Chris Watts' psychological state of mind. And it completely changes the case. So for the people that are oppressed by a Patreon paywall, I'm going to kindly give you the information for free. Okay, because that's the sort of person that I am and the sort of channel that we are. As long as you promise not to get too excited by this information, which is just astounding. Completely a year old and says nothing. Some would say that. Some would say that. I would say that. Oh. But then it wouldn't be very exciting if you said that, you see. So that's the only reason I'm covering this. I'm not going to stick around on it for too long. So we'll just go through it and see. Some of you probably have seen it. But those of you who haven't or will want to watch it back after on the replay or whatever, then they can go through it. So this is the groundbreaking, world exclusive, case-changing information. Okay, so bottom line, it's an inmate classification report, which all prisons obviously do when an inmate comes in. And it was done just over a month after Chris was moved from Walpen, whatever you call it, to Dodge in Wisconsin. So it's basically his sort of initial classification report. What is a classification report, you might ask? Okay, so it's basically the prison assign inmates to facilities and programs on the basis of a classification system. I'm just reading this for one of the Dodge's sites. Classification is the ongoing process of collecting and evaluating information about each inmate to determine the inmate's risk and need for appropriate confinement, treatment programs and employment assignment, whether in a facility or the community. It tries to balance inmate, departmental and public interest while preparing inmates for their return to society. The system is designed to objectively assess an inmate's security, custody and treatment needs. It applies to all inmates regardless of legal status or sentence length. An inmate's overall classification profile determines the appropriate facility assignment, supervisory approach, housing assignment, accessibility to the community, and program or job placement. So you get the picture. So it's basically, hi Diane. It's basically, what is this? What risk is this inmate? Where do we need to place him? What kind of programs does he need to go on? What's his mental state? All that kind of stuff. So it's just standard, really. It's a standard inmate classification report. Yeah, he is in general population. I can tell you where he is actually. He's I know this for a fact. He's kind of housed with disabled people, stuff like that. And I've had it through a source that he helps pushing around the disabled people. He helps to push around the people in the wheelchairs and stuff like that. Which is a bit annoying because it sounds like he's getting a bit of an easy ride in there, doesn't it? But yeah, he's housed with like disabled people and pedophile. I think a lot of you know that anyway, pedophiles and stuff like that. And yeah, he's pushing around the disabled and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so this is basically an inmate classification report. This is what has been thrown around on a certain creator's channel. I know other channels have done it as well. What does it tell us? Well, it's dated 11th of Jan 2019. So, we're talking, this is a year old, this document. Hi Rupal Thaker, hi CS. Yes, a year old. Just got his document, date of birth, doc number. Just says that he's serving his first incarceration in Wisconsin as a new admit. We know that he was moved from Walpen, wasn't he? He's here as a interstate corrections compact case, serving a Colorado sentence. He's not serving a Wisconsin sentence. Okay, so we know what he's in there for. 3 counts of murder after deliberation, 2 counts of, they've got it here, murder, victim under 12, pregnancy, unlawful termination, 3 counts tampering with deceased human body. Well, the next bit I'm not going to go into it. It just basically, it's his initial lies. It's just his initial report of what he said happened, which we all know at that time, was a complete lie. It's just a load of lies. So I'm not gonna read through it. He just says that he's trying to piece it all together. He's trying to distance himself as much as he can from that moment. There's nothing in there that's gonna change anything or surprise anyone. Say this is all old news. This is pre second confession. You got to understand as well. This is before his prison interview. So just saying that he doesn't want to appeal at this time. He doesn't want to make people go through the process for 2 or 3 years, through the trial and all that kind of stuff. And he says he's found faith and talks to his victims through prayer and all that. We know all that. Yeah, he's in. The latest I know is that he's in general population, but they have pods. They have assigned pods and stuff like that, and they can. It's not like in general population. You're not like in the prison with everybody. Everybody can't just go and shake hands with everybody. It's he's on a pod with people that are disabled and pedophiles. It was the last I heard, and he helps with pushing around the disabled people. That's one of his jobs. But that's pretty much as much. That's as much as I know. What else does this document tell us? He's got no pending charges, no outstanding warrants, no juvenile adjudications, known adult offence history. Well, we know that really, don't we? He's had no previous or anything like that. Colorado information indicates he was not a management program in the county jail, and he was not on a management program prior to transfer, so that would have been at Walpen or Warpen. Okay, so slightly interesting bit, I suppose you could say, is that it mentions here about he was put on a waiting list to go on a domestic violence program. It was a little bit late for that, really, isn't it? Just saying that he has a school diploma, he's got an automotive-based technical degree, he was last employed through Anadarko as a field operator. Unlikely to have had any education, criminogenic scale, unlikely. Earned release program is excluded from substance abuse, unlikely. States that he would drink approximately 1 time per month socially. Yeah, hippie love. This was case changing. It was case changing, and it's the 4th confession. This is the 4th confession, and the People magazine would have paid thousands, possibly millions, for this information. And this is why I'm showing it, because I want people to see you're being hoodwinked, guys. You're being totally hoodwinked. We're just trying to help you. Yeah, so substance abuse. So yeah, he was put on a list for a domestic violence course, apparently. Now, whether he actually undertook that course or whether he's still doing that course, we don't know, because this was dated January 2019. Yeah, Amber W, it's a complete joke, and that's why I am making a bit of it's a serious thing to talk about, which is why I'm not making a complete parody of it, but it is ridiculous that something would be sold as something like that. And people are being taken for a ride, and they need to be shown that, and that's all we try to do. We just put the truth out there, and if people don't like that, then that's their problem, isn't it? But I hope people that can't afford to join certain creators' Patreons and stuff like that to see this information, they see this, because you're all being hoodwinked, guys. Okay, inmate's comments. He doesn't have any requests. He's not familiar with Wisconsin. He has not had any issues thus far at Dodge and is fine with staying here. He is willing to work. Okay, staffing comments. Maximum custody at Dodge is recommended. I don't think that was a tough decision, really. This recommendation takes into account the dynamics of the current offence and sentence structure. Mr. Watts is an ICC inmate from Colorado. Colorado information indicates that he was not a conduct issue in the county jail or in the prison. He's had no conduct reports thus far, so he's behaving himself, basically. When discussing his current offence with Mr. Watts, he showed emotion at the mention of his victims and appears to still be processing the crime. He was encouraged to talk with PSU. Now, I couldn't find out what PSU meant, so I do apologise. Based on his positive conduct, stable work history and DCI security approval, he would be recommended to stay General Pop at DCI. Yeah, I don't think. See, that's another thing. This was advertised as a psychological evaluation. Some people have mistakenly advertised it and called it that. It's not. It is not in any way a full psychological evaluation at all. Hi CL, hi Candy Williams. It's merely a inmate classification report, which is standard practice. It's just a general overview. Where do we need to put this guy? What's this guy's history? What's his rough mental state? Has he got any drug abuse, anything like that? Just gives them an idea of what he's about, really. And then it just gives his counts of his crimes. Just saying that he's a high risk, low escape risk. Comments. Interstate corrections compact inmates held in Wisconsin pursuant to an ICC are assigned a custody designation by Wisconsin and may be assigned a custody designation by the inmate's home jurisdiction. Okay, that doesn't really mean that. That's pretty much it, guys. That's it. That is it. This is the same document, I've been assured, that changes the case, and that is the fourth confession. So make of that what you want. I mean, that's how it is. That's the facts. Hi Firefly. It's very difficult to make that document any more interesting than what it is, to be honest. I can't. To say if you, I don't know if you can read it on there on the replay. You might be able to slow it down and read it. I don't know, but as I say, we've got it up in our Facebook group. If anyone wants to join our Facebook group, you're welcome. It's just called Team Phoenix. Well, just put Team Phoenix and you'll find it. Hi, Francis Hanson. Is he under suicide watch? Not as far as I know. No, not at the moment. The impression I get is that he's quite happy in there. They've found a place for him in there. He's in general pop, yeah. He's in general population, but he's on a pod with disabled people and sex offenders, pedophiles. So I guess they found him a safe pod. Okay, so that's that. Really, I'm not going to waste any more time on that. That's what it is. That's what all your money was worth. Was it worth paying your money for that? I don't know. Okay, so also yeah, I've got the visitor list as well. Sorry, I've got his. This is actually current. This is as of January the 6th. Monday, January the 6th. I don't know why they protected him, Lani. I suppose that's how prisons run, I guess. Yeah. I guess they view him as high risk, so they put him somewhere where they feel he's going to be safe. I don't know. I don't know the full policies of, how prisons work and all of that, but yeah, I guess it does kind of feel that he's being protected. So visitor list, who have we got on here? So recognise a lot of these names. So we've got obviously Jamie, Chris's sister, Ronnie, Cynthia, the mum and dad, Anna, Anna Novak. Of course, a lot of you probably know Anna. There's Philip, which I presume is Anna's boyfriend. Two on there I don't know. There's someone called Janelle Stables and someone called Kimberly Kaufman. Does anybody know those two? It's the first and fourth one on that list. Of course, somebody no longer on that list is Sherilyn. She's no longer welcome there. She is on the visitation list. So she did actually tell the truth in that respect. She did actually, according to the visitation record, she did go and visit Chris in prison. I know her integrity's kind of in shatters at the moment because of Cadlegate, if you like, with Anne Howard and the plagiarism. Got a quick update on that actually. Let me just show you that. So this was the latest from Anne Howard. She runs a Facebook group called Serial Murders in Connecticut, and she put out a statement on the 5th of January regarding, yeah, that's right, True Helper. So this is the latest statement from Anne Howard. This was on the 5th of January. Sorry to go off on a bit of a tangent here, but I'll do this now, just while we mentioned Sherilyn. So this is Anne Howard's words. So it says, "Hey there, Serial Murders in Connecticut followers. Here's an update on the status of Cadlegate, i.e. the plagiarism of my book, His Garden, by Sherilyn Cadle. Cadle sent notice 2 days ago, so that would have been the 3rd of January, that she requested the removal of her book, Letters from Christopher, from Amazon, and Amazon has agreed to remove it. Now we wait to see if it actually happens." She also forwarded a letter from her self-publisher Dorrance, stating that the book will no longer be distributed. She is purportedly notifying other online booksellers now. I am naturally wary and I will believe it when I see it. In the meantime, I have retained a top-notch copyright infringement lawyer here in Connecticut, and we will fight this to the bitter end. I will not be played. One big issue that we will fight is her audacious request that reimbursement for over £21,000 in expenses incurred during the mere 5 months that it took her to write the book get deducted from the proceeds that she turns over to me. Most of that money comprises the cost that she paid to Dorrance for publishing the book. She was rejected by traditional publishers and so had to pay a self-publisher to publish the book, about £6,500, and Dorrance allegedly paid out about £12,000 to stock back orders. Once she deducts these and other ridiculous expenses, she will hand over the remaining proceeds to me, which will naturally be zero after the deductions. If she thinks that she is being crafty, she is not. Needless to say, these outrageous terms will not be tolerated. Among other things, she demands reimbursement for the purchase of a new computer. No surprise there. All I can say is that Cadle picked the wrong woman to mess with. Sadly, my publisher and I were willing to be quite reasonable in our negotiations. It was not until she returned with these demands that she angered me enough to hire a lawyer. That's what I call bad legal strategy. I'll keep you all updated as the drama unfolds. Thanks again for your support, everyone. Let the games begin. So I don't think Anne Howard is playing games. 21,000 in expenses. Do you think that's fair? What do you think, guys? That seems quite high to me. And a new computer. Why does she want a new computer? That seems hell of a lot, doesn't it? £21,000 expenses. Well, Anne Howard's certainly not messing around by the sound of that. And who can blame her? I mean, that was blatant plagiarism. You know, she tried to brush that off as just a few sentences, didn't she? And then it all turned out, you know, there was numerous paragraphs, and it wasn't just Anne's book, it was other websites, and it was all sorts. Yeah, she is a scammer. She is. And she's been, you know, she's made so many claims along the way. You know, she's accused everyone of, I mean, she accused the Watts family of faking screenshots and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, no one can believe what she says now. She's clearly, her integrity is clearly in question. And she clearly tells lies. You know, she's clearly lied along the way, so can't blame Anne for coming down there like a ton of bricks, really. So I guess we'll hear more about that. I don't think that'll be the last we hear of that. Okay, so that was the latest on Sherilyn. Yeah, so the visitor list, as you can see there. Be interested to know if anyone finds out who Kimberly Kaufman and Janelle Stables are, because they're ones that I don't know. Visitation history here as well. See the last visit on here is the 30th of December. That was Anna Novak. She seemed to make quite a lot of regular visits actually. 23rd of December, 18th of December, 11th of December, 4th of December, 25th of November. She's there quite consistently, Anna. We can see Chris's dad, Ronnie, 21st of September. His mum as well, 21st of September. And the 20th of September. And then it's got Sherilyn Cadle's visits on there as well. Last one being 9th of September. She went there with her husband, didn't she? And we can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we can see Tammy Lee and Graham Codell on the bottom. 18th of December, which of course we know was his prison interview. So yeah, Sherilyn is on the list. So she did actually go and see Chris in prison. Because let's face it, we have to question everything with her at the moment. So that's that part of it. So yeah, that covers Watts anyway, really. As I say, those documents are on our Facebook page. If anyone does want to join, they can find them on there. And if anyone wants the original or copies, actual copies, rather than just pictures and stuff, they can email us and we'll send it out to you. We've sent it out to a few people. And as I say, credit again goes to Psych Ward, who actually requested the documents. They're public documents that anyone can actually obtain if you know what to ask for. Okay, but that's enough about Watts anyway. So has anyone, I presume quite a few of you have read through the affidavit for Megan Faramuska. I've got to be perfectly honest with you, I've had a quick flick through it. I haven't read all of it. I just haven't had time. And it's been absolute information overload this week. There's just, on all cases, there's been so much stuff coming in. It's been hard to keep up. And just through other commitments and private life, I just haven't really had a chance to go through all of this stuff. Oh, Jay for Justice did a read through, did she? Yeah. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna read every single word. I'm just gonna kind of browse through it. We can maybe pick out some interesting points. Um, so as I say, this is the official affidavit for Megan Rose Fieramusca. Don't know if anyone's seen her latest mugshots, but she didn't half look different to how she did. Yeah, Megan AK comb over. Some people have said that she had, was it polycystic ovarian disease, or whatever you call it. I don't know. I don't know if there's any truth in that, but she does look remarkably different. Very bloated out, hair's very different. Um, yeah, yeah. They still haven't charged her either, Firefly. I think they're probably obviously wanting to get everything right, and I guess because it's an interstate crime, I guess they need to make sure that, because they don't know exactly when and where things went down at the moment, do they? I don't think. So I guess they make sure it's got to be in the right jurisdiction that she's tried for murder. That's a guess anyway. I guess they're getting everything straight, facts straight. So let's just have a quick look. So, so this is for headed kidnapping, third degree felony. Like I say, they haven't charged her with murder yet. Okay, point one's pretty boring. Da, da, da. Okay, so it was Tuesday, December 12th, as we know. Your affiant was operating in on-call status and received a message to contact Austin Police Officer Parker regarding case number blah blah. Upon making contact with Officer Parker, your affiant was told the following. Officer Parker was being dispatched to a call for service regarding a missing adult female, Heidi Broussard, a white female, and her 2-week-old newborn, who is fully identified in Austin Police Department report and will hereafter be referred to as her newborn child. The complainant was Shane Carey. Don't know if anyone just going off on a little bit of a tangent, but there is a Shane Carey interview out there that he did on, I think it was Good Morning America. Don't know if anyone's seen that yet, but that is out there somewhere in YouTube, Facebook land. I watched some of it. It just seemed very short. It wasn't what I saw wasn't the full interview, but there's something to look out for if you want to go and watch that. Complainant was Shane Carey, who is the boyfriend of Heidi, with whom they share 2 children, a newborn child and a 6-year-old child. Shane Carey, Heidi Broussard, and both children live together in an apartment at 744 West William Cannon Drive in Austin. Right, I'll tell you what, I'm going to put the Facebook group in the chat. I've just seen someone saying there that they've had problems finding it. So this will just take me 2 seconds, so bear with me a minute. I'll find the link. Copy, here we go. Okay, so here's the official link to our Facebook group. So yeah, please feel free to join if you haven't already. Okay, so part 3. Shane Carey has cooperated with the Austin Police Department in investigating the disappearance of Heidi and the child. Shane Carey provided an initial statement to Austin Police detectives on Friday, December 13th at the Austin Police Department. Yeah, I should put it in my future description. You're absolutely right, True Helper. Thank you for that, and I will do that actually. That conversation was voluntary in nature and was recorded using a fixed digital audio and video recording system. So he's had a recorded interview. I wonder if we'll ever get to see that. Shane Carey spoke with Detective B. Harris of the Austin Police during the continuing investigation. I'm just trying to skip over all the names of the investigators and stuff like that, stuff that you just don't really need to hear. It's just you know, matter of fact stuff, isn't it? Conversations were collected on body-worn cameras or fixed digital audio and video recording systems in interview rooms. So I'd say it'd be interesting to see if at some point they release those interviews. Not that it really matters in Shane's case, because we know that he wasn't involved or anything like that. Shane stated that he last saw Heidi and Margot in person that day, December 12th, at approximately 6:30 a.m. Shane Carey woke for work and saw Heidi and the children before he left for work at a moving company in North Austin. Shane Carey advised that Heidi would ready the children for the day, then take the 6-year-old child to school at Cowan Elementary. I reviewed images captured by surveillance cameras at Cowan Elementary. Heidi Broussard can be seen entering and exiting the school on surveillance cameras provided by the Austin Independent School District with Margot. But we saw that image, didn't we? Hi, Sasha. Based on video evidence, Heidi Broussard left the school approximately 8:12 a.m. with Margot. Shane Carey and Heidi Broussard spoke on the phone at approximately 8:30 a.m. regarding dropping the child off at school, a conversation that was confirmed by a consent search of Shane Carey's phone. So what he claimed that he spoke to Heidi at that morning all matched up with his phone records. Shane Carey stated that he did not speak with Heidi Broussard the rest of the workday. Shane Carey got off work at approximately 1:50 p.m. and called Heidi Broussard. The phone call was not answered and went to voicemail. Hi, we are one. Nice to see us. Better late than never, as they say. Shane Carey arrived in the parking lot of their apartment complex at 744 West William Cannon at approximately 2:50 p.m. on December 12th. Shane Carey noticed that Heidi Broussard's vehicle, a white 2012 Honda Fit bearing Texas license plate, was parked in the parking lot of their apartment complex. Shane Carey found the front door to their apartment to be unlocked. That's interesting, isn't it? It was so the front door was unlocked. You would think if Heidi was knowingly going out somewhere, she would have locked the front door, wouldn't you? And that would be my initial thought anyway. Unless maybe if you thought you were nipping around the corner for 2 minutes, maybe you might leave the door unlocked. Shane Carey stated that the apartment was not in disarray and that nothing inside the apartment appeared to be out of the ordinary. Neither Heidi nor Margot were in the apartment, according to Shane. Shane believed that Heidi and the newborn child were possibly visiting another apartment in the complex or were at the park. Shane realized as the day progressed that their elementary age child needed to be picked up from after-school activities. Shane Carey went to pick the child up at approximately 5:50 p.m. That's Silas, wasn't it? Thinking that Heidi would be there as well. Shane Carey waited until after 6 p.m. Heidi Broussard did not arrive to pick up their child. Yeah, that's a good point, Louis. She was tricked outside by Megan. It is suspicious that she left the apartment unlocked, I think. As I say, you may do that if you were just going to pop round the shop round the corner and you were just going to know you were going to be 5 minutes. You might leave it unlocked. But, yeah, most of the time we'd lock it. Sasha, I don't know about that. I can't answer that. If he's still supporting Cadle. I think Cadle's disappeared off the face of the earth. I think she's just hiding from everyone at the moment. But she's being properly sued by well, she's probably got Anne Howard after her, that's for sure. If you missed it earlier, I read out the latest update on Cadlegate, if you like. So go back and listen to that. It kind of explains a lot. Okay, so section 7. Shane Carey returned to the apartment with Silas. Neither Heidi nor Margot were at the apartment. Shane went to Heidi Broussard's 2012 Honda Fit, which was in the parking lot of their apartment complex, and found the vehicle to be unlocked. Shane stated that it was unusual to him that the vehicle was unlocked. Shane looked inside the vehicle and observed Heidi's red purse inside the unlocked vehicle. Shane looked inside the purse and observed Heidi Broussard's wallet. All personal items, cash, credit cards, debit cards, and identification appeared to still be present inside the wallet. So that's interesting, isn't it? All her personal effects were inside her unlocked car. So that's her vehicle unlocked and the apartment was unlocked. I think the only thing was missing was her phone and keys, wasn't it? Does anyone know if her phone was found? That's one thing I thought about today. I thought, I wonder if they've ever found her phone or the keys, the key set. Yeah, Louise, I think you're absolutely right. Even more evidence that she was tricked outside on false pretenses. It does seem strange, doesn't it? Her car's unlocked, or her stuff's in the car, her apartment's unlocked. Okay, Kimberly, you've never heard if they found the phone or the keys. No, I haven't. I haven't heard. Yeah, absolutely right, Lana. This is just an affidavit. It's just a summary. It's a summary of what they've so far managed to. It's a combination, really, isn't it? It's what they've, the results of the interviews with the people involved and what they've managed to kind of piece together, information that they've gathered. They've obviously got the mobile phone information, but you're right. There's still so many questions that will still have to be will be answered, and that hopefully will all be come to light in the trial. Now I know that Megan's due next month, I think, early next month in court. But as we know, trials on these cases, they just take forever to actually begin. It could be a long, long time before the trial even gets underway. Okay, so they've found everything in the car, wallet, all personal items bar the phone and keys. Shane stated that Margot had jaundice when discharged from the hospital. Shane stated that he and Heidi had to supplement breast milk with formula due to the jaundice. Section 9. All necessities for caring for Margot remain in the apartment, including but not limited to diapers, formula, clothing, wipes, bedding, car safety seating, and accessories. All apparent forms of financial means for Heidi appear to be inside Heidi Broussard's wallet, which was left in her vehicle. The only items of note missing from the apartment or vehicle are Heidi's iPhone 11 and her keys. I mean, that was one of the key features, wasn't it? The fact that everything that she would need for the baby was left in the apartment, and that made it pretty much 99.9% clear to everybody that she hadn't willingly gone off anywhere. Section 10. Shane described Heidi Broussard's iPhone 11. It's just the colour of it. Describes the keys. Okay, section 12. The location of Heidi is unknown at this time. What's the date on this? I can't see the date on the document, but obviously at this time, this was obviously before they found Heidi. Location of Heidi is unknown at this time. At the time of her disappearance, Heidi did not take the necessary items to reasonably care for a 2-week-old newborn. Heidi Broussard does not possess the necessary items to reasonably and legally travel inside a vehicle with a 2-week-old newborn, such as an infant car seat and base. It is of note that both car seats possessed by Shane and Heidi are in the apartment or Heidi Broussard's vehicle. Shane stated that Heidi would not abandon her family, especially her elementary-aged child. Okay, so this section's really just going over what we already knew. It just states that Shane began to call family and friends. I'm just going to try and skip over a bit of this just to cut it down. And a lot of it we all know anyway. Austin police conducted a search of the apartment, contacted Heidi's family and friends, conducted a reverse 911, calling over 4,000 residences in the immediate area of the apartment. Okay. An emergency ping of Heidi's phone number began at approximately 4:56 on Friday, December 13th, and ran continuously for 48 hours until the afternoon of Sunday, December 15th. The continuous ping of Heidi's phone was requested to indicate any location data associated with the use of the cell. The data was updated and sent at 15-minute intervals for 48 hours. There was no location data reported for the 48 hours of the requested ping, indicating the phone was not in use. So I wonder what happened to her phone. As far as I know, her phone was never found. So I wonder what she did with her phone. I suppose she could have just took the SIM out, could she, or battery, or threw it in water, or smashed it up. According to Shane, Megan and Heidi have been friends since attending Texas Bible Institute in Columbus approximately 10 years ago. We know that, don't they? They were closest of friends, which made this case even more shocking. According to Shane, Megan and Heidi became pregnant around the same time, in 2019. Both expectant mothers were due in late 2019. Shane stated that he saw Megan visibly pregnant in person. Megan held her hands to her apparently pregnant stomach, appearing to support the weight of her unborn child. Shane reported that Heidi and Megan had spoken about the possibility of delivering on the same date. So yeah, so she definitely did. Well, she definitely must have wore a pregnancy cushion then to make her look pregnant. On November 25th, Heidi's water broke early in the morning. Shane and Heidi went to St. David's South Austin Hospital for medical treatment in anticipation of childbirth. Megan was alerted to the impending delivery. On November 26th, Megan drove from her home in Houston, Texas to South Austin, while she herself was approximately 37 weeks pregnant. Of course, we know she wasn't. The afternoon of November 26th, Heidi and Shane gave Megan a key to Heidi and Shane Carey's apartment from Heidi's keyring. We talked about this the other day, didn't we? Kimberly noted that she gave Megan a key to the apartment. I suppose, guessing in hindsight, maybe they gave it in case she needed to go back to the apartment to get stuff for Heidi, maybe, regarding the birth. I guess that's a possibility. I mean, she obviously had full trust in her to give her a key. Austin police officers spoke with SD, a nurse at South Austin Hospital who is fully identified in the Austin Police Report. Nurse SD overheard Heidi and Megan conversing about Megan being 37 weeks pregnant. Shane reported that Heidi delivered her newborn child on November 26th. The following people were in the room when Heidi delivered her newborn child: Shane Carey and Megan. Additional family members entered the room after the birth. Newborn child was first held by Heidi, then by Shane. Let's got somebody else. Immediately after Shane Carey's father was handed his grandchild, Megan Firamuska interjected herself and asked to hold the newborn child, stating that she had to leave. Shane Carey's father was surprised by the actions of Megan and that his first introduction and time with his grandchild was interrupted by a friend of Heidi's. I guess that's understandable. Sasha said, I'm confused. Who buys a baby bump? Going to look on Amazon. $179. Is that how much they are? They're not cheap, these things then. Can't get anywhere with them. That's just insane, isn't she? That she must have wore that the whole time as well. Megan told Shane that she would leave the key to their apartment on the counter inside the apartment. Shane advised that neither he nor Heidi could ever locate the key that Megan was given to have access to their apartments. They've never found that key. Megan left the hospital no more than 1 hour after Heidi delivered her baby and returned to Heidi and Shane's apartment, where she stayed until November 27th when she returned to Houston. Megan drives a grey 2015 Nissan 4-door bearing Texas license plate. I reviewed a search of Learn Vigilance license plate online registry, which shows that Megan's 2015 Nissan was captured on stationary license plate traveling between Houston and Austin. Data confirms the vehicle operated by Megan was traveling in the direction of Austin on November 26th. Shane reported on December 8th or 9th that he learned from Heidi that Megan delivered a baby girl. Shane did not see any photographs of the child. So it was 3 or 4 days before. Hi, Brandy. 3 or 4 days before then that Megan had her phantom baby. I mean, that's the day that Heidi learned that Megan had had her phantom baby. And she then obviously told Shane, but no, as we know now, nobody obviously ever saw this baby. And we know now that she claimed that she went to a birthing centre, don't we? 26, a resident of 744, well, that's Heidi's and Shane's apartment, the same complex, has installed video cameras on the exterior of his residence. The tenant of the apartment with the exterior cameras provided voluntary consent for Austin police to view the recordings from the exterior cameras. One of the cameras captures the parking lot and has the capability of capturing vehicles as they pass in the parking lot. Video captured on the exterior cameras shows a light-coloured 4-door vehicle with the outline, window placement and general appearance consistent with Megan's grey 2015 Nissan 4-door, driving northbound towards the rear of the complex at approximately 9:05 a.m. on December 12th. Shane and Heidi's apartment is on the rear of the complex. So 9:05 that morning, she's seen driving round to Shane and Heidi's apartment. Glad the car's not red, yeah. Yeah. On December 27th, no, sorry, on December 18th, 2019, MW, an adult female, provided a statement. The statement was captured on a fixed audio and video. MW stated that on December 11th or the 12th, she was driving through the rear of the complex, stated that she saw a four-door vehicle believed to be light in colour, stopped in the parking lot perpendicular to the provided parking spaces. MW stated that she saw a white adult female walk from between buildings 7 and 8 towards the vehicle parked perpendicular to the provided parking spaces. The adult white female was carrying a small infant who was wearing a knit cap. The adult female carrying the small infant walked towards the vehicle. MW saw a female exit from the front passenger seat and greet the adult female who was carrying the small infant. The front seat passenger opened the rear passenger side door of the vehicle. The adult female carrying the small infant entered the rear passenger seat. Both doors closed and the vehicle drove away. MW stated that there was not time for the adult female to secure the infant into any type of child restraint system before the vehicle drove away. MW turned from the main lane of the parking lot and last saw the four-door vehicle driving towards the exit gate to South First. Does that make sense to anyone? So let me just read that again a minute. So the adult white female was carrying a small infant who was wearing a knit cap. The adult female carrying the small infant walked towards the vehicle parked perpendicular to the provided parking spaces. NW saw a female exit the front passenger seat and greet the adult female who was carrying the small infant. The front seat passenger opened the rear passenger side door of the vehicle. The adult female carrying a small infant entered the rear passenger seat. Both doors closed and the vehicle drove away. So obvious questions was who's driving? Yeah, absolutely, Louise. That someone's got to be driving that car, haven't they? I mean, if I presume this is who we're talking about here, this MW. Presumably, she's seen Heidi carrying the small infant, has come out, greeted Megan, who's got out the vehicle. So Megan's in the front passenger, she's got out, opened the rear passenger door. Heidi's got in the rear passenger door. Megan's got back in the front passenger door, and it's driven off. Yeah, maybe they don't know who the driver was. But if there was a driver, surely they've got to be implicated some way in this whole case, surely. Because, I mean, that was presumably the start of the journey, isn't it? From Heidi's place to Austin. So whoever was in that vehicle would have known at that point that surely something wasn't right. That is rather confusing. I'm going to have to read that again at some point. We'll just go on a little bit more. I'm not going to read all of it because I know it goes on up to about 64, which might be a bit too much. I don't know if you're all falling asleep in the chat, you see. This is a problem. I mean, I can do it in two parts if you want. I can sort of go a bit halfway and then we can finish off the second part on the next live. I'd like to have a little chat with you guys just at the end, rather than just reading at you. Okay, so I'll just do the next few bits. On December 19th, MW, this is obviously a witness, returned to the Austin Police South Substation and was presented a photo lineup. The photo lineup was prepared by Detective blah blah blah. The photo lineup featured 6 images of females, one of which was Megan. The females were all of a similar complexion, and none of the females stood out of the lineup. The photo lineup was presented to MW. When MW saw the photo of Megan, she stated that she was 60 to 70% sure that that was the female that she saw in the front seat of the vehicle in the parking lot of Heidi's apartment. Well, they know for a fact that Megan's car was there because they have, well, they know that she was there because they have that on her phone records, don't they? So when you tie that up with the 60 to 70% sure the witness, that's pretty convincing that she was there, isn't it? Shane told Detective that he believed Heidi was friends with Megan. Shane provided a cell phone number for Megan. This number was determined to be serviced by T-Mobile. On December 18th, intelligence analyst of the FBI conducted open source research related to any social media presence for Megan. A search of Heidi's contacts on Instagram revealed an Instagram account for user Megan Humphrey, which we know is one of her aliases. On December 18th, Ferguson obtained records for Instagram user Megan Humphrey. This record was indicated, it just gives an email. The account had been active for an extended period but contained no posts. Further social media research into Megan Humphrey, possibly known as Megan Fiera-Musca, yielded at least one photo on the Facebook profile of Heidi depicting the Heidi and a white female who appeared to be tagged at one time as Megan Humphrey. The white female identified in the photo as Megan Humphrey was visually similar to the licensed photo of Megan Fiera-Musca. On December 18th, they requested records from Google related to email address. She had a Gmail address, Megan. A review of the search history for Megan identified a Google search for reasons for Amber Alert. Slightly suspect. Formed on December 12th at 10:31. So that same day. To date, an official Amber Alert for the newborn child has not been released. A Google search was performed for Amber Alert issued Austin by Megan on December 12th at 7:42. A full review of searches performed by Megan's Gmail account between November 11th and December 18th revealed some form of Heidi Broussard was searched at least 162 times from a device utilizing the account meganhumphrey@gmail.com. 162 times she looked up Heidi Broussard. Why would she be doing that? On December 14th, a search was conducted using the account Megan Humphrey for the words bodies found in Austin, Texas. Slightly suspect. Why would you be looking for her body? Wasn't rocket science really, was it, for them to find out who was involved in this? Okay, it just goes on to say they found her Facebook, or a Facebook account, which had been terminated. Okay, there's not much else on that page. I'll leave it at that. We're up to 38. I think that'll do. I don't want to overload people with information. I know it's so exciting reading through these affidavits. But no, I mean, there's some interesting points there, you know, about the vehicle, who was driving the vehicle. There's a big question mark over that. I think that's the biggest question mark that comes out of all of that. Yeah, Anne Howard is not messing around. Does anyone want me to read Anne's last statement? If you missed it earlier, I can read it again. If anyone wants to hear it regarding Sherilyn and what have you. Not the brightest. Oh, is Firefly off? Yep, see you soon, Firefly. Tom Rose. Okay, where did you hear that, Tom? Is that fact or is that speculation? Has that been stated anywhere or? Yeah, who was driving? I think that's something that we're obviously going to try and find out. Obviously, that witness she wasn't obviously paying attention to who was driving by the sound of it. Obviously, maybe they've got their eye on somebody. Rumor, yeah. There's a lot of rumor and speculation surrounding this case. I think the thing is, there's still so many unanswered questions, isn't there? And that's why people are trying to piece things together, and certainly more, as you say, more will come to light in this case, no doubt. Hi, Kim. Just home from work. Blimey, you've had a long evening. It's right, Kim. You've only missed out on the fourth confession, the fourth Chris Watts confession, the world exclusive, case-changing information. You can always go back and watch it. Information that's been locked away in Dodge, never been seen. I think you'll be amazed. Okay, we'll finish off the second part of that affidavit on the next live. I think I am gonna hop off because I've got a few things I need to do. So yeah, I hope I've saved some people a few quid, and I hope they realise that, you know, you've been hoodwinked about that whole fourth confession. All you missed out on was a inmate classification report from January 2019, and that's it basically. Yeah, hit the like button on the way out. That'd be most appreciated. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. And if you haven't joined the Facebook group, please do. I'll put the link under the video. Again, thanks everyone for popping in. Thank you to Kim. I know you've just made it. I'm sorry about just leaving. Thank you to Kimberly, to Firefly for looking after you guys. Thank you, Brandy. We are one. Lani, Hippo, CC, True Helper. Thank you as well for looking after the chat. Goodbye to CC, Louise, Diane. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. That's much appreciated. Goodbye, Helen Rowley. It's nice to see some familiar faces in here. Night We Are One. Yeah, it did go fast. It did. Always go fast lives. They always do. Seem to fly by. Bye, Slim Pickings. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, all of you. Thank you for thanks for all your support and for sticking with us. I think we've got a great little community going on our channel, and that's just the way I want to keep it. Stay away from the drama. Just be nice to everyone, and well, not everyone. You know what I mean. Call people out if they're people that are trying to hoodwink other people. We'll call them out. But yeah, I mean, we're not about drama on this channel other than that. Just putting the truth out there, putting the truth out there. That's all right, True Helper. No worries. Right, okay, thanks guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we're going to try and make sort of 2 lives a week, possibly 3 if I can get on the weekend. Then I will. And yeah, we'll see what's going on, and yeah, I think you've got to stick to facts. Really, it's too many channels, are built around gossip and speculation and conspiracies, and it's just all a load of crap, really, isn't it? And it comes back to bite people, which it has in the Broussard case. It came back to bite a lot of people, and people are using the. Well, we've all seen it, haven't we? People are making stuff up and making up conspiracies to keep the views coming in on the Watts case and the money, and that case is closed. It's over. He's in prison. We all know it. It's done. If anything interesting comes out, you know, we'll report on it. But other than that, I'm not even interested in this Lifetime film that's coming out. I mean, what are you going to see? You're not going to see anything new, are you? You're not going to see anything new at all. You'll probably learn. You'll learn nothing. You'll learn nothing, and it's wrong. It's wrong to make a film out of something so soon. Totally wrong. Don't agree with that at all. I agree with what they do, the domestic violence part of it, but I don't think they should be making a film about that. Yeah, it is it is boring now, in a way. The stuff that people keep going over. It is. The perpetrator is where he needs to be. The family have made it quite clear that they don't want all these conspiracies going on. That's what upsets them, guys. That's what It's not people stick talking about the case because they understand that people won't stop talking about the case. It's just all the conspiracies and the fabrication and twisting of the facts to suit people's own stories and narratives, and that's what gets their back up, and that's understandable. Seeing people cash in on loads of lies and stuff, it's just not right, is it? Family will always be in our hearts, of course they will, absolutely. I mean, they're victims of a horrendous travesty and people that they've lost. It's tragic. But, likewise, there are many, many other victims out there and people that are living these atrocities, and that's what we always try. That's what we always have in the back of our minds. That's why we always respectfully stick to the facts, because we know how easy it is to hurt people if you don't. And we'll always be a voice for victims if they ever need to speak or need to express themselves. So, and yeah, it was heartbreaking to see Frankie have to do that, but everyone's got a limit. Do you know what I mean? And he obviously reached his. So, Right, okay, guys, I'm going to stop waffling on. As I say, thanks very much again. Enjoy the rest of your evening, day, morning, night, whatever time it is. And thanks to the moderators again. Thanks everyone for popping in. Thank you to Diane for your donation, and I'll speak to you all again soon, I am sure. So have fun and stay out of trouble. Bye.